is Bart and I'm a self-projected projector. And today I would like to tell you and bring you my own perspective, my own life and experiences of life as a projector. So mainly life as a projector, from my perspective, what I've experienced is very internal. I believe it is very hidden from the consensus, hidden from the world around, especially when you realize who you are and what gift do you carry within you. Because often when we are out there, out in the world, interacting with other types, interacting with other people, random people, very often we are looking for recognition, and this recognition that we think that we want to create it by ourselves, by our own efforts. And what I experience is that whenever we want to create this artificial feeling of recognition from the outside, whenever we try to fake this recognition, or whenever we try to basically just go there and grab this recognition, then probably at the end we will not feel recognized, because this is the power of our strategy, that we need to be recognized. And why is that? Why do we need to be recognized? Because our aura is focused so much on the other. Very often we forget about ourselves, and when we are waiting for recognition, we try to create this recognition, we try to fake it in some kind of sense. So whenever we fake it and we think that this person finally recognizes us for something, we will come to the moment that we will understand that we will feel unseen. This is only because our aura is penetrating the other and is focused around the other. So whatever we feel, whatever we create to be recognized by the other, this artificial creation of our recognition, this is only because we see the other and we project the vision of the other and what the other could be interested in recognizing in us, in ourselves. So what we really don't understand and what we cannot really see is that we as projectors, as a type that is there to guide the other, very often we don't see ourselves for who we really are. It means that we don't see ourselves for our gifts, and we don't see the like the place that in our own life that can be really recognized by the other. And this is very often unconscious dynamic, because we are focused on the other. We try to get this sense of faking a recognition and just creating the recognition that we think that the other person will like. But at the end, the other person has the right to invite us to whatever the other person desires. And this invitation to guidance, it's very often it happens when we don't even expect it. Why it happens when we don't expect it? It happens when we don't expect it because all the time we are focused on the other and we don't know what can be recognized in ourselves. So if you try to fake recognition in the other person, you will fake it and probably it won't be real. You still, even if the other person kind of catch it and understand it and really gives you signs that the other person likes what you falsely presented, at the end we will come to understanding that we won't feel satisfied with that. We won't feel successful because we got recognized by something we projected to the other person. So it comes waiting now. Why we have to wait? Why we have to wait? Because the more we focus and we wait, we create a opportunity for the other person to see us for who we are. And often the places that are recognized by the other person, they are not recognized by ourselves, in us, in our own life. So we can walk on the earth and not knowing what are we carrying within us, and there will be a day that someone comes and sees everything about you, your whole potential, your potential of what you're capable of, and what you can do, and what kind of gift you can bring to the life of the other person. So my own experience in my life, it's when I try to create an invitation, or create a sense of recognition, or or basically when I wanted to be seen by the other, often it came with came backfire at me, because it's often not successful, and then I cannot feel successful, because I know that I got recognized by something that I created myself, but it's not something that the other person discovered in me. I don't know if you understand this, but this is a dynamic that happens all the time. So the question is what to do when we are waiting. Somewhere I found an article about breath, about waiting, and understanding waiting as a breath of recognition, and basically as a breath of waiting. So whenever we feel like we want to integrate socially, this is a breath of recognition. We want to be recognized. So this is a moment when we can interact with the other people, when we can go there and just be active socially, when we can just be around the people and just show ourselves. But this is not the moment to create fake sense of recognition. So when we are there, when this is a breath of recognition, we are around the people, and we are there, basically we are available, but we don't interact with other people unless it is wanted from us. Because whenever we interact first, we project on the other person this fake invitation. So it's better to just be there, and it's better to just be silent, be still focusing on your own internal activity, whatever happens internally. You can see a lot of things around you, you can see a lot of problems, a lot of solutions, but not sharing it. That's the gift, not sharing it. Maybe it sounds funny, but if you don't share what you know, then you will attract more from the outside world. You will attract much more, because you create a kind of a pressure on the other to uncover what you can provide and what you can basically give to the other person. What is your gift? So if you are there and you are around the people, when you just basically having fun, and you are there, and actually you are in the middle of the action, for example in your workplace, and you know that some things could be much better if you will just improve, or tell something, or give some hints to the other person about how to improve the work, and basically how to improve the whole thing. If we don't share this, then they will feel it. They will feel that you are there to provide something. You are there to provide some kind of helpful information. But the gift is to not share it during the breath of invitation, breath of being there on the people. And another second breath, it's a breath of waiting. So this is a period and a cycle of life of a projector. Also in my own life there is a lot of waiting, so a lot of basically being on my own, because that's also what I like. That's my profile. That's 2-4. So I'm a natural hermit. So when you are during this period of waiting for invitation, what you can basically do to feel feel better, to feel good with you, with yourself, and basically to not starve for invitation. You need to accept it first of all, because often projectors, they are fearing that something will, they will miss life, that the life will pass by, and they want to jump on the train. This is the fear of projector, and this comes to the surface very often during this during the period of waiting. So if you are waiting, what you can do to actually make your waiting experience better? What do you like to do in your free time? What makes you feel good? What actually, it's making your frequency higher? What are the activities that can improve your own well-being? So what I'm doing during waiting is very often I often during my waiting breath, during my cycle of waiting and being focused on myself, I very often focus on creativity. So what can I put my creative force into? What can I use my creativity for? And that's the one thing. So whenever you feel like you are creative, you create something. You create something which not necessarily is there to just, how to say, to take off from the ground and just it's not like a starting of something. You create something that you like, something that you feel may bring value to the other person. So that's what I do in my own life. So basically I create articles, I create a lot of different things that I found interesting for myself, because if we cannot see ourselves and if we cannot recognize ourselves very often, we have to recognize first where is our creative force, and the creative force will help us to bring us closer to our own self-recognition. So if you feel like you're creating something and you are interested in something and you create, you paint, you dance, you do whatever you feel it's creative for you, this will bring you closer to your self-recognition, and this will bring you closer to understanding where the other person will see you and will invite you, for what the other person can invite you. So if you know your human design chart, the key here is to recognize where you are defined, which channels are your definition, because this is where your creative force is flowing. So basically this is where where you are defined and what you can see. Let's say you can see in yourself. So that's the one thing. Focus your creative energy in things that you like. The other thing that I do during my waiting breath is often just reading a lot of things that probably they don't make sense for the other people. They don't make sense to read to people that are not interested in self-growth or self-transcendence, and just self-growing and self-mastery, because they don't know their design. But if you know that you are a projector and you know your gift, then it is a good idea to study some kind of metaphysical system, whatever it is. It doesn't need to be something that will kind of be focused on the other, how to read the person. Not only it will be perfect and it will be very helpful to learn the system where you can see the other person, and if the other person is living correctly or not, or if the other person lives with strategy or not. But if you don't like this, if you like to read something else, like whatever it is, any kind of system, any kind of structured way of thinking, any kind of structured way of system, or something that you can really master. This is a good thing to do, because let's take an example. If I would, for example, study astrology, and someone sees something in me, what is my gift then? What can I provide the other person? What can I give to the other person if I got recognized? If I know some kind of self-mastery system, then I can see what is the other person all about. So I can see how can I be of help, because I can basically compare what is the blueprint of the other person. Let's say, what is the other person design or astrology chart, whatever it is, and I can see and compare this to the way of this person, how is this person living. So is this person operating closer to who he is, or is his life, or is he living his life just off track? The second thing during waiting breath, to really master systems, master metaphysical systems, and master the things that will bring you closer, that will enable you to penetrate the other better. So whatever you learn to basically whatever helps you to verify the other person, the better it is for you, because this is how you can improve the quality of your guidance. So I often believe that there is a, if you gather knowledge, if you gather a lot of information, you fill yourself with all this information. So when you know more about the other person, when you know all the possibilities of the other person, or how can life be, of course it is unpredictable, but whenever you get to master like more possible scenarios of the other person, or how the other person can live, then you will get better invitation from the other person, and you will be invited by more people, because all the people that will recognize you, they will be able to see in you something that they are missing. So if you present yourself as someone who actually knows a lot, or basically if you know a lot, and if you learn and study a lot, then sooner or later you will fill yourself with this energy, with the knowledge, with wisdom. So it also depends what are you doing, it depends what kind of system do you master, because if you learn something very specific, you will attract to you people that are also interested in a specific area. But if you learn, for example, about life, about spirituality, about nature, all the things that are common to us all, then probably you will attract more and more people. So if you learn how the system works, the system, whatever it is, it can be Maya, it can be consensus, it can be basically just society. Whenever you master this, you will attract to yourself more and more people. So this is a good thing. 2 things that you could do during your waiting breath, basically mastering your systems, mastering understanding of the world, and just studying and focusing your creative force, creativity into the things that making you happy. Because whenever you are happy, whenever you vibrate with a higher frequency, then you can bring more people to you, and they will feel this. I can assure you that they will feel this, and you will attract more and more. So this is it's a very magnetic energy. Whenever you focus on yourself and you cultivate your own gift, and you respect your own gift, that this is not something that can be misused. This is not something that you can share freely with others. When you understand this, when you start to respect yourself more and more, then basically you will get recognized for who you really are, and your guidance will be really profound, because this is how life works. Whenever you relate to yourself in a loving manner, and whenever you relate to yourself with love and to treat yourself good, this is the people that you will attract to your life. So yeah, in my life it's all the time. It's all the time. Breathing in, breathing out, and it's a breath of recognition, breath of waiting, breath of waiting for recognition. So yeah, this is very interesting. So yeah, basically it happens all the time. It happens even during a day. If you focus and if you see it really clearly, then these two breaths, they even happen during the day. It's not in general in life, but they are cycles. So you can see the cycle of being integrated with other people and being integrated more like within you, just living on your own, being your own master, focusing on yourself, pleasing yourself, and just, you know, doing what you really love in life. So yeah, if you have any thoughts, if you are a projector and if you have any thoughts, if you'd like to share this, if you would like to share anything, basically, what can help others understand what is the life of a projector, how to live as someone who has a projector design, that's very welcome. And this is something that we need to understand, because we are here to guide the other person. We cannot misguide them. We shouldn't misguide them, because sometimes it's only one chance that we can have. So sometimes we can have our just 5 minutes that we can change life of the other person. So the more you see these two cycles, the more you see these two waiting breath and the breath of recognition, the more you cultivate your own gift. Thank you for this. I hope that it helped somehow, and whatever you want to share, feel free to share. Sayonara. Ciao.